Hello, good afternoon. Why is it so dark in here? How do you do, fellow kids? Yay. Wait, look at him. Hold on, hold on. Why you going? Yes. Hey, Zaid. How's it going? Long time no see. Baga! Why you growl, young? Why you growling at me, young? Whoa. I'm getting attacked by my dog on stream. All right, Melvin. All right, all right. It's okay, y'all. What's wrong, y'all? Somebody, dog expert, tell me what the hell is going on with my dog. Oh no, he just ripped my shirt. Oh no. Oh no, I love this dress. Good job, Melvin. To have dogs is to accept having all your shit ruined. Yes, Martin. That is correct.
What gives?
Wait.
What gives?
Why is the volume so low? Oh.
What gives?
How's everyone doing? I'm going to get my coffee in a second. Yeah, I just like made some fresh ground coffee and I'm like, oh, I just love so much the way it smells. Like freshly ground coffee.
The Dow right now is over.
Bruh. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Boney. Yeah, I saw the clip from Middle East Eye that they did with me, the interview. Yes, thank you, Brandon. True. Like the live, please. Yes. Hello. Let me put some of this on. I'm curious if you could test how well this stuff works. You know what I mean? What we're going to be talking about today, we're going to talk about the Wisconsin governor's race or gubernatorial race. And not just the fact that Francesca Hong lost, but the insanely embarrassing fact that the media is, as per fucking usual, trying to manufacture consent around it and has like the insane double standard of like, it was like a week apart. The thing that's so amazing about the media trying to do the actually we won and actually it's great and actually everybody loves corporate centrism. What's amazing about them doing that is that What's amazing about them doing that when it comes to this race is that it was 5 minutes ago that Abdul El Sayed won. Like, it was literally 5 minutes ago before Abdul El Sayed since Abdul El Sayed ran and won. And they're like, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Him winning doesn't actually mean anything. No. What? So him winning as a progressive doesn't mean anything. And it's actually, not only does it not mean anything, it actually is a loss for the left. Yeah. That means that the left is losing. Abdul El Sayed winning is actually the left losing because he won by 1 percentage vote. Oh my gosh, why am I saying both? Point vote. He won by 1 percentage. And so they're like, it's actually not even a win. You know, it's kind of actually a rejection of the left. However, then when David Crowley wins by like seriously like less like yeah, I saw that they did a poll that they said people in Wisconsin were like 70% against data centers. It's like, then why'd you vote for him? He wasn't hiding the ball when he said he was pro data center, folks. I don't like at a certain point, I'm really actually getting tired of voters saying like, oh, we voted because we thought that he could win. Stop playing pundit and stop listening to the media. Why are you listening to the media? The media lies. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It was this media and these politicians that brought us Trump 2.0. Why are you listening to them? Like, genuinely. So you voted for him. I saw a lot of people say that people voted for Crowley despite the fact that he was pretty open about the data center thing because they thought that he could win, and the media tells you that centrists and corporatists are more likely to win and they're concerned about electability. The number one concern of voters, even if they like Francesca Hong, is electability. And it's like, okay, at a certain point, you guys, you voters, you need to stop listening to the media and the Democrats. The Democratic establishment and the media is what brought you Trump 2.0. So why are you listening to them on electability? Because you say that your concern is the electability. Who are the people that are determining who's electable? Who are those people? Who are the people who are telling you who is electable? The media. The media is telling you. The media is telling you who is electable. Shit, I forgot to take this out of the fridge. Whoops. Oh, you know what I'll do? You know what I'll do? So why are you listening? Is the question that I would like to ask Wisconsin voters if I were sitting there. I would say, why? Why? Ooh, I forgot I still had some of this. You know what I really like doing, and I've seen it since going to a sobriety anniversary party, is mixing seltzer with like a little bit of Italian soda. Like, it's actually so good. Let me show you guys what I mean. I want to keep that cold. Okay, watch this. This Italian soda you put, well, I might have put a little more if it didn't run out, but you put like a third, okay? And then you fill the rest with seltzer. Oops. It's actually very good. You guys like my Dachshund cup or glass, whatever you call these? Thank you, Boney. That is true. Thank you for the reminder that it is your support that helps me, this channel. So if you want to support my content and my work, you can become either a monthly member at Patreon, Ko-Fi, YouTube, Twitch, or both. You can do Ko-Fi and YouTube or whatever if you feel so inclined. And pledge monthly support. And you can also support me by tipping me on Venmo or Cash App, which also helps a lot. And also, I set super chat goals during this stream and every stream so that it helps me and it helps the channel grow. So if you are able to contribute to the super chat goal, that also is greatly appreciated. And follow me on, like the stream, please, and share it. And follow me on all the other social media apps as well that are all in my link tree. Everything's in my link tree except for Upscrolled, which is here. Yes, thank you. The hair smells. Shout out to all my patrons and Ko-Fi members and YouTube members and Twitch subscribers, and shout out to the one and only old Boney Bird. Best mod. Claps in the chat. Claps in the chat for Boney. Flanagan won. True. Which is great. People did not think she was going to win. Didn't even Bernie Sanders say, like, I don't think she can win or something like that, or I don't think she's going to win? Thank you for the sticker, Boney. A super sticker of Czar. You know what I just realized? Why is it a Z? I was like looking at like where some of my viewers are from. And Boney, I think it was talking specifically about you because it said ZA. And I was like, wait a second. So I looked up, I was like, wait, oh, ZA is South Africa. Why is it a Z?
What
What?
gives?
Did you?
Did you?
But why is it a Z? Why isn't it SA? Not that kind of. South Africa, like an S. I don't understand. Because it's from when we were governed by Afrikaans. I still don't understand. And they don't know how to spell, like. Remember when they were pretending to be refugees, Lamau? Because they can't claim that there's a white genocide law. That's not a thing. That's not happening, by the way. All the right-wingers who say that are just like psychotic racists. What's the snap now? Well, I'll be out of town this weekend. Yeah, I might have to go live on Monday instead of Sunday because I have to go out of town this weekend because there was a death in my husband's family. We have to go to the funeral. Not like we have to, like, that sounds rude. I didn't mean it like we have to go to the funeral. Like, we obviously want to go to the funeral and pay our respects. Oh, thanks, Brandon. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it to downplaying it, because anytime death happens, obviously it's sad, but it's less sad when the person's really old. You know? God rest her soul. She was my husband's grandmother died. Like, matriarch of the family, amazing woman. Like, obviously my heart breaks for her kids. Like, this is your mom, you know, her kids, like, but and so obviously, like, of course it's sad. Of course my heart breaks for their family. But at the same time, she was an amazing woman. She had a full and wonderful life. She was 95, I think. So there is a difference when somebody, you know, passes away and they got to live a full life, and somebody, you know, dies young or something. But yes, God bless her. God rest her soul. Amazing, amazing, really sassy Irish woman, Irish Catholic woman. We were colonized by the Dutch once upon a time, as well as the Portuguese and the British. Yeah, but I still don't understand the Z. It doesn't even make sense. Garbo, but why do you growl at me, Yarm? No one has been able to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know why he keeps growling at me. I don't know what his problem is. Okay, question for chat. If you are doing a single stretch, let's say I want to stretch my arm like this, right? A single stretch, or stretch my shoulder, whatever. Let's say you're doing that, right? How long are you supposed to do it before you let go? If you're stretching, just in general. How long are you supposed to do it before you can let go of any stretch? Does Yarmo have something against you? I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's why it's so upsetting. Like, I don't even know why he started doing it. He started doing it about a year ago. Until it hurts. No, I need a time frame. Depends on why you stretch. I mean, just because I feel like I need to. Like, I feel like, you know, when you wake up and you need to, 30 seconds. There we go. Thank you, Boney. Finally, a straight answer. I want simple, straight answers. No nuance. I think I'm dehydrated. Just being, hey, Ahmed, or Ahmed, sorry. I want to say your name wrong. On Windows. I don't use Windows. Looks like we got our first super chat. Thank you, Ahmed, for the super chat. News channels need to give up the Kalshi stats. I know. Bro, I know. It's so bad. It really is. Like, and people are acting like it's like people are acting like that's, you know, a real poll. It's like, no, these are just people betting. And speaking of that, why the hell are the polls so off? Like, genuinely. If you can't do a decent poll, like, we need to just scrap the whole operation. Stop polling then. I'm tired of this shit. All right, we're going back. I don't know why I'm so fucking tired. No, I do actually know why. I haven't had enough coffee, and I'm also probably dehydrated. Let's do this. Bring a little sunshine in here. Okay. I just had to wait till. No, I don't like this. Thank you, Saito, for the super chat. The sleek, shiny afro. Let's go. I don't know who that's referring to, but thank you. Thank you for the super chat, Gigi. I hope you are doing well. Oh, thank you. What is well anyway? Just kidding. The sleek, shiny mohawk. Thank you, Saito, for the super chat. Yes, let's go. Let's go. You know what's embarrassing, though, is how many people on the right are obsessed with my hair. Do you guys like my nails? The way the right wing is obsessed with my nails is, like, actually so embarrassing. It's, like, actually so embarrassing. Can Francesca Hong run as an independent? She could, but she won't. She already endorsed Crowley. The thing is, guys, is that I need to chastise the voters for a second, okay? Obviously, my main thing. Thank you, Ahmed. Obviously, I am always, and I say this all the time, I'm always going to hold the powerful accountable for the majority of everything, right? The people in power, the ones that are actually making the decisions, the money, right? However, I'm always going to hold the politicians and the power way, you know, like to the higher standard, right? However, I don't like the way my hair is falling right now. I did it this morning, but like now it's getting on my nerves. Hold on. I need to put my eyelashes on. Because you guys know I am such a we were talking about Jules earlier. Anyway, I always focus on the powerful, right? But the voters do also have a responsibility. They do. And it's very frustrating that voters so far, when being interviewed, are saying that the reason why they voted for Crowley was because they think he's more electable than Hong. Why? Why do you think he's more electable than Hong? Because that's what the media told you. That's what the Democratic establishment told you. So why are you listening to them? This brought to you by the literal people that brought you Trump. So why are you listening to them? It was the media, okay? It was the media that was like, you know, Joe Biden shouldn't drop out, and the Democratic establishment. Exactly. Or picking him because they thought he was, quote, more electable. And it's like, it's so frustrating because it's like, it was the fucking media, our media, and the Democratic establishment that led us to Trump 2.0. So why are you listening to their arguments about electability? But that is exactly what voters in Wisconsin did. They said they voted for Crowley over Hong even when they liked Hong because they thought he was more electable. But why do you think he was more electable? You thought he was more electable because the media and the Democratic Party told you he was. It smells so good. Yeah. You thought he was more electable because that is what the media and the Democratic establishment told you. But why are you listening to them when they're the ones who brought us to the place we're at now? Why? Why are you listening to people telling you that Joe Biden is more electable, or that Crowley was more electable, or that Kamala Harris was more electable, when these are the people that brought you Trump 2.0? These are the people that told you Biden was vibrant and didn't need to drop out. Can we please be serious? Right. And then they say that 70% of people polled in Wisconsin in the primary are against data centers. Then why'd you vote for him? Like, this is what I mean when I say I always am going to hold the media and the people that are actually empowered the most accountable, because they're the ones who have the power and are doing the most harm. But there is also a responsibility of the voter to educate yourself and to make decisions based on what is actually true and based on what is actually, like, based on evidence, and also like on what you want. If you are opposed, I'm talking to the Wisconsin voter. If you are opposed to data centers, why did you vote for the guy that has explicitly said he's going to be pro data center instead of the woman who said that she wasn't and would put a moratorium on him? And if you ask them why, a lot of them will say, oh, well, because we thought he was more electable. Says who? Oh, that needs to be a sound drop, you guys. I forgot about that. That's an old classic. Thank you, Bodhi, for the super chat. Twitch has been criticized by users after it emerged. The popular streaming platform allowed their content to be used to train Amazon's AI models. That doesn't surprise me at all. That does not surprise me at all. They've used us to train their AI models without consent on everything, on literally everything. That does not surprise me. People did not vote against her because of the stupid fucking Thanksgiving tweet, okay? I saw some dumb numbnuts online being like, and on fucking CNN being like, yeah, it was the woke stuff and the Thanksgiving stuff. It's like, that is not the reason why she fucking lost, bro. That is not why she lost. She lost. What are you doing? The boys are acting sus. She lost because people thought that she was unelectable and they were afraid. That's why ranked choice voting is needed. We really need to have ranked choice voting everywhere, because if people voted for who they really wanted to vote for, then she would have won. It's just very frustrating. It's very frustrating. I need voters to stop listening to the fucking Democratic Party and to the media. Stop listening to the fucking Democratic Party. The losers that are like on the verge of bankruptcy. The DNC is like on the verge of bankruptcy. Stop Stop listening to the fucking losers that gave you Trump 1.0, that gave you Trump 2.0, that are on the verge of bankruptcy and keep fucking losing to Republicans. Stop listening to them. Stop listening to our professionally wrong media that has a literal financial incentive to fucking lie to you. They have a literal financial incentive to fucking lie to you. Stop listening to them. They're literally lobbyists. They're Zionists and lobbyists for corporations. Why are you listening to them on elections? Yeah, let's have Hillary Clinton go and talk about how to win in Michigan. Bro. At a certain point, it is on the voters. Like, you have a responsibility at a certain point to actually learn what the fucking truth is and stop listening to them. Stop listening to them. And what gets me so much is that so many people voted for her because they were listening to the media and listening to what the Democratic Party was saying about unelectability. Yeah, let's listen to what Hillary Clinton has to say. Famously, who botched Michigan famously. There's an Asian blackout because of Cyrus Carmack Belton. That is not. That is not a significant or statistically significant reason why Francesca Hong lost. That's crazy. I feel like the boys are acting sus, and I'm trying to figure out what they're doing. I know. Well, they're not, though. They're acting a little sus. Yeah, I know. The black community wanted data centers there. I don't know about that. No, of course they didn't. That's not fucking true. First of all, might there have been some individual people who didn't want to vote for her because she was Asian? Sure, sure. And they're holding her responsible for what happened to Carmack Belton. Is that the vast majority of black primary voters in Wisconsin? No. No. No, that's low-key slandering black voters. Like, you're saying that black voters are like going to discriminate against an Asian American candidate and also vote to poison themselves with data centers because of Conrad Belton. Like, what do you mean? That's literally throwing so many black voters under the bus, claiming that, like saying something like that. That's wild. That's crazy. Both parties are corrupted. We know. We know. It always is. It always is. It's never just one thing. Anybody that does that, like, doesn't really understand politics in America, how politics works. Like, It never is one thing. Like anything else in life, not just politics. It's usually not one thing. It's usually a myriad of things. Like, but it wasn't her fucking Thanksgiving tweet either. That dumb shit. Like literally, Caitlin Collins was like, "You're not trying to cancel Thanksgiving, are you?" "12 million people didn't vote in 2024, and Clyburn is blaming back black voters." Yeah, and I thought that was insane. I thought it was insane that he blamed black voters for Kamala Harris losing. It's totally insane. No, it is actually totally insane because, first of all, yes, there were black voters that stayed home in 2024, which they had every right to. Because again, it is at the end of the day, I will always go back to this. At the end of the day, it is the responsibility of the politician to get the vote of the voter. And if they fail to do so, that is ultimately on them. But also, black people still overwhelmingly voted for Kamala Harris. So him blaming her is blaming black people for the loss of the Democrats is kind of insane. AI must be criminalized at this point. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. I think it was 12 million people overall that didn't vote. It was, when it comes to black voters, I think that what they were talking about was that their turnout was much lower. Usually black turnout is much higher. It was like 60% turnout. So like 40% of black eligible voters didn't vote at all. And instead of blaming them, you should be asking why that is. Yes, I understand that. I understand when people say, "Oh, 92% of black people voted for of black women voted for Kamala Harris." Yes, I understand that that's the percentage based on the number of people that actually voted, which was about 60% of eligible black voters. So about 40 stayed home. But again, I don't know why you're yelling at them for that or blaming them for it. If their Democrats are losing, as you said yourself earlier, the black voters are the base of the Democratic Party. If they're not showing up, you should be asking them why that is. Instead of lecturing them and blaming them, why don't you ask them why that is? Ask them why they stayed home. I think both things are true. It is ultimately, and I just said this at the beginning of the stream when it came to Wisconsin voters, it is ultimately always going to be on the Democratic Party, on the Republican Party, on the people in power to earn the votes of the people. And if you do not earn the votes of the people, that is on you, not them. And you should be trying to find out why you failed to get those voters. However, however, it is also a responsibility of voters to be educated. We need to educate ourselves. And by that, I mean, a person choosing to stay home, that's not being uneducated. That is different. That's different. That's not them being uneducated. That's them saying, you are not representing me, so I'm staying home. I'm asking you to do things and you're not doing them. You're not representing me. That is very different than being uninformed or allowing the media to manipulate you. That is what I mean when I say voters have a responsibility to be informed. You have to inform yourself to some degree. And I understand it's hard because we live in a very, 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 very propagandized country with a very, very, very propagandized and manipulative media and political system and corrupt political system. But at a certain point, You have to stop saying, oh, I voted for this person based on electability, because what are you basing that electability off of? You're basing it off of what the media and the Democratic Party is telling you, and the Republican Party for that matter. You're basing it off of what Zionist media is telling you. You're basing it off what corporations want. Stop letting them manipulate you. Stop letting them manipulate you. If you're a primary voter, stop saying that you're going to vote based on electability. If you're a Democratic primary voter, why would you vote based on electability when they prove to you over and over again they keep losing? What do they know about electability? What the fuck does Hillary Clinton know about electability? Sitting on Kira, whatever her name is, podcast, giving advice about how to win Michigan. Be serious. What do you know about winning Michigan, boo? You lost it twice. So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Voters have a responsibility to educate themselves, and I'm going to need for fucking Democratic primary voters to stop playing pundit. Stop playing pundit. Vote for who you think is the best candidate that represents your values in a primary. That's what a primary is for. That's what a primary is for. I'll say it again. Vote for the person in the primary that best represents your values. Stop trying to play pundit and vote for somebody that you don't agree with, like on data centers. They're upset about the data centers, but you vote for the data center guy because you think that he's more electable, and that's your main concern. You don't know who is more electable. The person who's electable is the person you guys come out for. The person who is electable is the person you guys come out for. That's who's most electable. Stop saying that you are going to vote based on who you think is more electable, because you are basing that electability argument on a bunch of special interests and manipulative media. You are basing your view on what you think is electable based on our manipulative media and the paid Democratic establishment and the Zionist media. So when you say, I'm going to vote for a person because I think that they're going to be the most electable and electability is my biggest concern, you are basing that off of people who are actively manipulating you on what electability is, people who have now a history of losing, people who have no business telling you who's electable because they gave us Trump 2.0. People like Hillary Clinton who lost Michigan twice thinking that they should tell you who's electable. Stop listening to them. They've proven over and over again that not only do they not know what's electable, they don't know what's electable because they keep fucking losing to Republicans, but also they're manipulating you, and they have a vested interest in making you think that somebody like Francesca Hong is not electable. Of course, the media and the Democratic Party is going to tell you that the guy's more electable who said, we need to bring more venture capitalists into Wisconsin. And, the Democrats and the left don't have a monopoly on good ideas. Republicans have great ideas too. Of course, they're going to have an interest in telling you that. Vote for who most aligns with your values in the primary. Then when we get to the general, you can make those calculations. If somebody takes AIPAC money for me, they're fucking off the table completely. Completely off the table. Like, it shouldn't even be a discussion. The next primary, by the way, you guys, that's coming up is the primary in Florida. Jared Moskowitz. Oliver Larkin. He's a great candidate. He's a great candidate. I mean, I need everybody to be serious right now. Wait.
On Thanksgiving. I mean, I have to ask, where do you
No, you
stand on
don't,
Thanksgiving?
actually.
I like Thanksgiving. My favorite dish is dressing.
Okay. Mr. David Crowley.
Chicken dressing for my sister-in-law.
Okay, well, your sister-in-law is going to be happy with that answer. I mean, I
have to ask. Yeah, but you actually didn't have to ask that stupid ass question, actually. No, and then people are going to be upset that he's going to approve data centers, which, you know, to be fair to him, it's exactly what he said he was going to do. No, this is what I'm referring to.
Don't have a monopoly on good ideas. I would argue we have to listen to independents and Republicans because we don't have a monopoly on good ideas. I would argue we have to listen to independents.
Oh yeah, I saved this. I didn't get He actually didn't say that, so that's bullshit. No, it's not true. Incorrect information.
Not because I'm a part of this coalition, even though I know we don't always see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. But you have to literally, at some point, I know you don't want to do this, defend me. And not because you love what I have to say, not because I'm a part of this coalition, even though I am, whether you like it or not. But you are going to inevitably have to say, this is a ridiculous conversation that we're having, because the real conversation that Republicans don't want to have is the cost of living crisis. That requires you, at some point, to basically take the L a little bit, okay? And maybe be a little bit more honest about how I'm not this dangerous, toxic, radical force. I'm not expecting you to defend clips out of context or anything like that. I'm not even expecting you to defend some of these statements at all. I think you should probably attack the form. You should attack the form. You should attack the function. You should probably attack the very reason as to why Republicans have made this I
don't understand why Hassan is doing this. They fucking hate you, bro. They despise you. They would rather see a Republican win than see the people that you support win. They hate you for that reason. Like, I don't know why he's trying to appeal to their, I don't know, humanity, their interests as somebody who shares the same broad goals, because they don't. They actually don't share the same broad goals as you. They fucking hate you. They despise the fact that you don't bend the knee to Israel. What do you mean? Of course they should defend him, but they won't defend him because they agree with Republicans. You guys, they're not going to defend him because they agree with Republicans. I don't even understand why he's doing this.
Trying to make this a salient line of attack instead of just allowing the Republicans to consistently make this the number one fucking issue, because every moment that the Republicans are talking about this and you're leaning into it is a fucking another moment where you're not talking about the issues, and it will actually become a salient narrative, and it will be awful. Anyway, let's continue. Where I
just don't. Ooh. How do you use this? Hassan. I just don't understand what the point of that was. Because they fucking hate him. And that's the point. The point is to smear him. The point is to help Republicans. He's talking to them there like they're operating in good faith. Like, you need to defend me even if you don't like me, because the Republicans are using this as a cudgel and a way to distract. Yeah, they agree, dude. They agree. They agree with the Republicans. They want to help Republicans smear you for that exact same reason. Like, what are we talking about? No, I know that's off topic. I just saved it because I hadn't watched it yet. Exactly. It's all very coordinated, and they are actively helping. Hold on.
Worst aspects of this is I think one of the worst aspects of this is how lonely it is here. I'll be honest. I have my community. I have this movement broadly, but like everyone is obviously busy with their own thing. But it does suck that there are very few like candidates, politicians, they love what we have to bring to the table. They love the fundraisers, they love the rallies, but it does kind of suck at times. And same with media. Media loves giving me coverage, but there's no pushback against this shit until it's going to be far too late. I think one of the worst aspects of this is how lonely it is here.
Yeah, he's right about that, and it is kind of fucked up that more people don't stand up for him. Like, he's right about that because they do like him fundraising for them, and they do like how much money he can raise and how big his community is, but then they'll constantly smear him, and nobody like stands up for him. It's like, no, you should be standing up for the fact that they are in bad faith when they make that 9/11 comment. They go, oh, he made those comments about 9/11, and a lot of politicians will just be like, yeah, but he apologized. It's like, why aren't you defending the fact that they're taking it out of context? Why aren't you talking about the fact that they're bad faith smearing him and taking it out of context? Why aren't you defending him when they say that he's anti-Semitic? Why don't you forcefully push back and say that's a fucking lie? He stands up against anti-Semitism all the time. To compare him to Nick Fuentes is fucking absurd. It's absurd. He defends human rights. You don't like the fact that he does because those human rights include the Palestinians. The Islamophobia that is directed at him, the deranged Islamophobia that is directed at him every single fucking day. It's crazy. And he's, I would imagine that would really suck. Like that would suck. And it is really lame that more politicians that are happy to take his money, his community's money raised for him, to use his clout, kind of just let the media smear him. And same thing with the media. The media is happy to interview him and profit off of him and then constantly smear him. Like, it's gross. It's fucking gross. It really is the meme where the people will be like, the white supremacist says something deranged, like they want to exterminate people, or Asmund Gold saying that like they should be able to shoot people. And then it's the person on the left, like Hassan Piker, being like, everybody should have health care. And the corporate media and the Democrats and the centrists will go, yeah, I can't tell the difference between these two. They're kind of the same thing. Except it's not at all. One is a deranged, psychotic, racist, white supremacist monster, and the other one is talking about human rights. Can we not? Can we stop, please, for the love of God? Weak ass left. Weak ass left, bro. The left is so fucking weak. It's fucking pathetic. All right, let's get back to Wisconsin. Hassan, my message to Hassan's community is keep your heads up, kids. Keep your heads up. And, shout out to Hassan for, taking all the hate and not letting them win. At least as far as I have seen so far, he doesn't back down, which is the right thing, which is what he should be doing. So yeah, like I saw some of the Piers Morgan thing the other day where Cenk was on, and the pearl clutching over Hassan was so fucking embarrassing. Like Vinny was like pearl clutching and crying over it. It's like, girl, shut the fuck up. You literally defended them not releasing the Epstein files. Like, he wanted to cry over Hassan. Vinny, that little pussy ass bitch Vinny from PBD, wanted to cry about Hassan's comments and him wearing a suit that reminded him of Mao. Really? That's what they were crying over. Dave Smith was even crying over it. And I actually like Dave Smith. I know he's a libertarian. There's like so much I don't have in common with him, but I do like him. I think that he does say some good things and has some right positions. But man, he was so embarrassing on that panel. Like, that's where I'm reminded that, like, yeah, we don't agree on a lot, because tell me tell me why you're crying over his suit. What do you mean you're crying over socialism and communism that doesn't exist here? I need you to be serious. I need you to be serious. Like, them crying over his suit was so fucking embarrassing. It was literally Obama Tan Suit 2.0. Okay, so back to Crowley. Yeah, that was so embarrassing. No, and here's the thing that's so embarrassing about the hysteria, whether that crying was coming from Dave Smith or it was coming from Vinny. The crying and the hysteria over his fucking suit and over communism that doesn't exist here, is that we actually are living under fascism. That's what's so embarrassing about it. We're actually living under an increasing fascist state right now. Like, in real life, we're actually living under an increasingly fascist state now, and they're crying about Hassan Piker's suit and non-existent communism. The reality is that Hassan Piker is not even that left. And he would say it that himself. If you actually spent any time in left spaces, we're not that left. I'm not that left. He's not that left. He's a moderate. And look at how they cry. Like, it's actually so embarrassing. No. The word moderate in the way that it is used in the United States is so fucking embarrassing. Moderate, they mean fucking right wing. But really, if you actually look at policy and what's actually happening in the country, Hassan is kind of a moderate, actually. He's a reformist. But he wore a suit, so now they're all crying and saying that, he's mad.
Holistically, and not just saying tax the rich. And the reason why I say that is taxing the rich going to give us everything that we need. Are there other revenue opportunities outside of the income tax that we should be looking at to make sure the resources are available?
Do you worry that a higher tax rate on wealthy Wisconsinites could cause them to potentially move to another state where the tax rate is lower then, or?
I think that's always a possibility. It's time for us to revisit our tax structure, but it's about bringing people to the table. We have to look at this system holistically and not just saying tax the rich. And the reason why I say
You're not
that,
saying anything. You're not. First of all, no one has left New York. Okay. Oh, they're gonna leave New York if Zoran wins. No one's left. That's number one. But this is so embarrassing. This is right-wing slob. This is literally Republican. He may as well be running as a Republican for fucking real. I can't, bro. I can't. You're not saying anything. We got to bring people to the table. You're not saying anything. Oh my gosh. I can't. Oh yeah, this was funny. Hold on, because I got to reheat it.
Thinks of herself as a victim and also
This
hates
guy's
the
such a
country
fucking
apparently,
hack. Oh my
and
God.
hates the primary, being somebody who is a victim of mental illness and thinks of herself as a victim and also hates the country apparently, and hates the things that most of us love about it, is the thing that's going to propel you to the lead in the primary, which is the phenomenon we're seeing all over the country with the DSA. And it's really an incredible thing. It speaks to what's happened educationally in this country over the last 20 or 30 years. In the primary, being somebody who is a victim of mental illness and thinks of herself as a victim and also hates the country apparently, and hates the things that most of us love about it, is the thing that's going to propel you to the lead in the primary, which is the phenomenon we're seeing all over the country with the DSA. And it's really an incredible thing. It speaks to what's happened educationally in this country over the last 20 or 30 years. In the primary, being somebody who is a victim of mental illness and thinks of herself as a victim.
Bro, he's such a hack. It's unreal. No, bro. Unbelievable levels of hackery. When is this guy not humiliating himself?
Hinged. For example, after El Sayed's opponent, Mike Rogers, appeared right here on this program, El Sayed issued a very angry statement on X, all but begging Mike Rogers to hold him accountable in a physical way. Quote, since you're too afraid to debate me, how about you hold me accountable on a football field instead? I didn't think he liked football. Anyway, and tackle, no pads like we used to play when we were kids. Anyway, I'd be happy to show you how much I love football. Now, all right, you can see why Mao worshiper Hassan Piker gets along so well with El Sayed. They both seem emotionally pretty unhinged. For example, after El Sayed's opponent, Mike Rogers, appeared right here on this program, El Sayed issued a very angry statement on X, all but begging Mike Rogers to hold him accountable in a physical way. Quote, since you're too afraid to debate me, how about you hold me accountable on a football field instead? I didn't think he liked football. Anyway, and tackle, no pads like we used to play when we were kids. Anyway, I'd be happy to show you how much I love football. Now, all right, you can see why Mao worshiper Hassan Piker gets along so well with El Sayed. They both see.
Why does Hannity
Mike Rogers appeared right here on this program.
Why is Hannity making fun of him for saying that when that is 100% not only something Hannity would say, but on top of that, Mark Wayne Mullen literally said that. Like, did the same thing and they praised him. Get the fuck out of here. Thank you for the watermelon, the end. I appreciate it. And thank you for the jammin' jewels. Thank you, guys. Is today the 12th? Oh, okay. Thank you for that context. I didn't really know why that was the case, why he was doing that. Well, well, well. If it isn't it coming out that, of course, the so-called intelligence that Iran was threatening Trump's life came from Israel. Where's the soccer meme? Guys, look at Eggy. No, I get. Oh. Hey, Milena. No, is literally anybody surprised by this? Literally no one. Of course. This is why it says came from Israel and was deemed by the CIA as Israel derived, not US generated, and views as low confidence. Anything to get Trump to drop diplomacy and resume the war for Israel. What's so crazy about this is that no one's surprised. And that's what they claim the reason why they're such an important ally is because they go, oh, but the intelligence. They're always trying to like fucking they're always lying to us. Oh, Hammy. Oh, Hammy. Oh my God. That's just crazy. But not crazy and totally expected. You know what I mean? Now, Francesca Hong. Yeah, sorry. Oh, I wanted to see what Sam Cedar said about the establishment. Because this is the other thing, you guys. They're trying to do this thing, and I'm sure a lot of you saw it, that like immediately after the election, they're all like, oh, centrist takeover. Told you guys. I mentioned this earlier, but they do this literally every time. They literally do this every time. They'll be like, when a progressive wins, they're like, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You know, it doesn't mean anything. Then when a corporatist wins or a centrist, they'll go, oh, see, everybody's pushing back on it. Everybody agrees. The centrists are the best. Everybody agrees. Nobody wants progressive left policy. See. It's a mandate. It's a mandate. When the left wins by more, like Abdul El Sayed did, they're like, nah, he barely won. He barely won. It's time to mend fences with the corporatists. He won barely. Barely. He needs to appeal to the right now. He needs to pivot to the center. He needs to appeal to the right. He needs to pivot to the center. Barely won. And then when David Crowley wins, they're like, it's a mandate. It's a mandate for the centrists. It's a mandate. No, it's actually so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Hold on. So, yeah, I saw Sam Cedar was talking about this. So I was curious what he had to say, but I haven't watched it yet. I wanted to watch it with you guys. So this is the first time I'm seeing it too. Shout out to the Clippers, you know? The people that just clip for us to react to videos. Shout out to them. This person does a lot of clipping.
As a sign that socialist fever is breaking, that the Crowley's new win after trailing in the polls is being covered by some as a kind of rebuttal to the left, a stunning loss for his.
Let's be real. It's being covered by the vast majority of the media this way. Let's be for real.
More liberal opponent, as the Times put it today. Some in the political media are rushing to argue this must be a wider trend. Axios interprets being covered by some as a kind of rebuttal to the left, a stunning loss for his more liberal opponent, as the Times put it today. Some in the political media are rushing to argue this must be a wider trend. Axios interprets the race as a sign that socialist fever is breaking, that the center-left wing of the party could make a comeback now. Well, many of those reactions are basically narratives hunting for data. Sam, I turn to you to transcend the narrative.
It literally is. It literally is. It's a narrative hunting for data. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jeb. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you. Let's see what Sam has to say.
Sure.
Rather than succumb to it.
I actually think this narrative is pretty low bar to transcend. So, I mean, the turnout was incredible. And I think the idea that this is somehow a resurgence of moderates, look, this is a very contested state. I think a
resurgence of moderates, Lamau, he barely won, guys. Literally, the vote margin was like less than 3,000. And it was good turnout. A lot of people did turn out. More so than even in 2018 when Evers won.
The electorate is very sensitive to the idea of who can win. And I think that narrative took hold where voters became more pundits than they did voting for what they necessarily wanted.
And
Yes,
is it,
and that's the
and in agreement, or in addition to that, is it also possible that having two strong viewed candidates, Crowley's new win after trailing in the poll?
The electorate is very sensitive to the idea of.
He's right, and that is the problem. Voters trying to play pundit and being sensitive to the idea of who they think can win rather than what they believe and who they want to support. Because again, I don't want to repeat myself from earlier, but they think that because of what the media in the Democratic Party says, because of what the National Democratic Party says and what the media, the narratives that the media pushes, that's why they think that. It's not actually true. They think it because that is the narrative that is pushed on them by the National Party and the media, and they need to stop doing it. Stop playing pundit. Stop playing pundit. Stop voting for people that you think can win and are more electable, because that more electable only exists because of what the false narrative that the media and the politicians are pushing on you. Who is more electable is who you pick. That's who it is. It's who shows up.
Of who can win. And I think that narrative.
People said that Zohran Mamdani was not electable. You know what else? People forget this. People said that Obama couldn't win, that Obama wasn't electable. And you know who really pushed that narrative? Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party. Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party pushing the narrative that Obama was not electable. So
Took hold. Where voters became more pundits than they did voting for what they necessarily wanted.
And is it, and in agreement, or in addition to that, is it also possible that having two strong viewed candidates brought out more people?
Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, I think that's what happened. And I think, you know, there could have been some Republican crossover. It's an open primary, but and I don't think, you know, Hong is necessarily a top tier performer on television as some of, you know, someone like Abdul El Sayed is, but she's an amazing organizer. And what's built in that state now is an incredible.
Do I think her answer on Thanksgiving was good? No, her answer on Thanksgiving was fucking annoying. Okay, she had. I'll play it after, but it's like, that was annoying. She shouldn't have answered it that way. She should have been direct. But, you know, you live and learn. That's true. Ads do still work, especially in rural areas. He ran a ton of ads in rural areas where she did not run ads.
Infrastructure,
which she referred to last night.
Which I think.
Say a little more about that, because not everyone's in the weeds on Wisconsin.
You know, the difference between when you talk about the so-called moderates and folks like DSA or more economic populists, they're winning with less money. I mean, race after race, they're winning or coming very, very close with less money. And that's because the nature of their politics is such that organizing and getting people involved is consistent with their ideology in a way that moderate politicians don't necessarily subscribe to. They get funding from outside sources. They get a lot more PAC money. They'll go up on TV more. But when you get politicians who are more oriented towards an economic populism, you see organizing on the ground. And that organizing doesn't go away.
Right.
That continues. So we're going to see down ballot victories in a state like Wisconsin 2 years from now, 4 years from now.
Also, Wisconsin was like totally decimated under Scott Walker. People forget that too. All the union busting, all the gerrymandering that happened in Wisconsin, like they really fucked that state up. No, but also, how come nobody asked the question ever? Why is it that Democrats fight so hard against the left? Why are you putting so much money into a primary? You allegedly agree with them on some things, on a lot of things, on most things. So why are you putting so much money into primaries? Why aren't you putting more money into the general? Not to say that people aren't going to put money into primaries. Of course, the right does too, but not to the extent that the left is putting, that the Democrats are putting against the left in primaries. Why do you think that is? Because I saw some corporate hack, I don't remember who it was like, oh, the left is putting, is forcing us to spend our resources in primaries. It's like, you know, you don't have to, right? You know, you don't have to, right? The left is actually not making you put that money into primaries. You're putting that money into primaries because you hate the left. You hate the left more than you hate the Republicans. Even though you allegedly agree with them on most things. You allegedly agree with them on most things. But you hate them more than you hate the Republicans. Curious. Curious why you have to put all that money in. But Sam is right about that. Bro. I know. I know. It's depressing, bro. It's depressing. But it wasn't. But it wasn't. You would think that people would learn after all this time. Election after election after election. Lie after lie after lie after lie. Yeah, remember, they also said that Zohran Mamdani was not electable. Remember how Cuomo during one of the debates was like, Trump would crush him like a bug. And then Trump like loves him. Trump would chew him out and spit him out. That's the other thing. Why are all these really unpopular Democrats who keep losing coming out and telling Democrats how they need to win? Somebody make that make sense. Why are we hearing from Hillary Clinton? Why are we hearing from Andrew Cuomo? Why are we hearing from Joe Manchin, who there's literally no constituency for? There is no constituency for Joe Manchin. You know what's really going to be getting me? Oh, it's going to drive me crazy in the 2028 primary is Rahm fucking Emanuel trying to happen. Like them trying to make Rahm Emanuel happen. That's gonna, he is a total media creation as far as like presidency goes. Literally totally a media creation as far as presidency goes. Like, stop trying to make him happen. There's literally zero constituency for fucking Rahm Emanuel, bro. Like, yes, and that also comes for like disinformation because first of all, it was a lot of older people, young Black people voted for Zohran, but also it shows you the power, what we were saying earlier about ads and disinformation. Cuomo blanketed Black communities with ads and with mailers, and that's why if you look at Zohran Mamdani's approval rating with Black voters, it's really high. It's really high. So now, yes, they've mostly voted for Cuomo, but now that Zohran has won, he has a very high approval rating within the Black community. So, yeah. Cuomo didn't win because Black voters actually like him. It was just that Cuomo spent a lot of money in those areas trying to do propaganda and lie and make it seem like Zohran wouldn't be good for Black voters and shit like that. It's what establishment Democrats always do. They always use Black people as human shields. And they use them as props during the election and then promptly discard them as soon as the election is over. That's exactly what Haley Stevens was doing too. It's really gross. They do it every fucking election season with black voters. They exploit them, they take advantage of them, they lie to them, and then as soon as the election is over, they discard them. But I think that a lot of younger, especially, like there's a lot of demographic, generational word I'm looking for, divides within the black community, and you see it in the polling and you see it in the exit polling that like a lot of this is still working. The mailing ads and shit works especially on rural and older voters. So you see those divides everywhere. A lot of people who live in rural areas, white voters, are old. And same thing within the black community. A lot of the people that are still voting for the establishment are very old people. They're more susceptible to being duped by ads than young people are. Not to say young people can't be duped by ads, but young people aren't watching TV as much, right? They're not looking at the mailers. Great. It's not sitting right. It's always more of a challenge to put my eyelashes on when I have nails, just because I can't really maneuver it as well.
Are more liberal than you look.
Well,
you could be. I appreciate, by the way, that you put on your jacket.
Thank you.
You are. I know. I've known you. Have I known you a while?
It's been
I know you
over 20 years.
You are more liberal than you look.
Well,
you could be a St. Louis accountant, consultant, a dad, soccer coach. You're more liberal than you look.
Maybe in a parallel universe, I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're a country club Republican in a different timeline?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I dress a little bit conservatively growing up, I guess, in Worcester, Mass. But no, I mean, I think like I would consider myself, of the left and, looking towards policies that are going to have meaningful impact
That help people's lives. I get it. And you can do that. I'm out of time, but you can do that in a Brooks Brother take as much as anyone else. We salute it.
J. Crew.
J. Crew.
There we go.
I'm out of time. We appreciate, by the way, that you put on your jacket.
Thank you.
That's really funny. Yeah, and it's rare they'll even have somebody like Sam Cedar on. Like, that's rare. They don't do that often. Oh, did I tell you guys? I think I did. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not have seen the photo. I got this book the other night at the book launch. Isn't that what the girlies do? It's actually very annoying. I'm excited to read it. I haven't started reading it yet. But I will be on the bus for probably, it's going to be a long bus ride. How long is it from New York to Pennsylvania? We're taking the bus to Pennsylvania. Yeah, exactly. And she really like basically just like lied and pretended she got the endorsement from Obama when she didn't. Like she really played up that once upon a time, like 20 years ago, she worked in the administration on a team during the auto bailout. But she made it seem like she ran these very deceptive ads and mailers, making it seem like he endorsed her. No, totally. Fast ASMR triggers. Oh man. The ASMR I can't I actually hate it. I hate it so much, especially the ones where people talk like doing this a lot, like that kind of like talking actually makes me crazy. I can't stand it. It's so annoying. Yeah, I can't get this. I can't get it to sit right. But everybody was so distracted by the Francesca Hong thing that understandably that that a lot of people missed that Peggy Flanagan one. Peggy Flanagan, that's her name, right? Sorry, I know this is off topic, but I just came across this and this looks amazing. Can we please watch?
Walk over and say no. If they say to you here and saying F Israel to your face, that is anti-Semitism, pure and simple.
No, it's
and
not.
if you're a British man
No,
and if
it's
they
not.
walk over and say,
No,
if they say
it
to
is-
you,
no.
here's
Rabbi
Churchill killed a
Shmuley,
million
Rabbi
German
Shmuley,
children. F
let me
Britain.
stop you there.
It was
Let me stop
harassing.
you there.
It was.
I'm
disappointed in you. I really am.
Wait a minute. Can you? Okay,
F
you know
Israel
what? I
is
don't
not
care.
a criticism.
I'm gonna
F Israel is not a criticism.
F Israel
is an attack on Jews. Saying I'm a
Let
dual
me
citizen
talk,
is a lie.
please.
I'm
No,
an
it's not an
American.
attack
I'm
on
an American.
Jews.
I don't even.
No,
have
it's
to say
not an attack on Jews. No, you accused him of being a Jew hater and of being anti-Semitic. Nothing I've seen
Correct.
in these videos
Because he came
proves that
over
he
and lied and
either
said
hates
I'm a
Jews
fan and
or was
F
anti-Semitic.
Israel. And it happened
No.
40 times while we're
He-
here. And the
he
reason
doesn't
I'm
like
here is because
you.
I love
He
this
doesn't-
country, okay?
Fine.
Then let him walk
Fine.
over and say, can
All
I
right,
say
stop
respectfully
talking
say
for a
I don't
moment.
like
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be clear,
explains
it's
the
fine.
nature-
You can. All right, I'll let Samuel respond.
I'm sorry. It shows the nature of your thinking and of also in the grander scheme of the nature of your warfare. For a man to approach you and your son, two men, one of them an IDF soldier, chasing down my girlfriend and largely ignoring me, pushing into me to get to her with the camera. You lie.
That is a lie. You are.
What's amazing is he literally said, if I had come to you and said like fuck Britain or whatever, yeah, that's not like anti-British or like it's so embarrassing, bro. It's actually so embarrassing. Like he's like, oh no, it's actually not like that's just so embarrassing. Rabbi Shmuley not helping the cause. Not helping the cause. I know, literally, people say fuck America all the time. Like, what are you crying over, Rabbi Shmuley? It's so embarrassing. Yeah, I think this was after he went to Iceland and like had a meltdown in Iceland. Right. Endless victim. Endless victim. Endless victim. Always having to be a victim. Like, it's so tired. We're all so over it. That's why I'm like, what does Shmuley think he's doing? Like, you're not actually helping your quote unquote cause at this point because everybody is exhausted by you. Everyone's exhausted. No one is interested. No one is interested. Everyone's exhausted. Nobody cares. Oh, yeah. I've talked about it. I've also made videos about it, too. It's insane. They've put over $1 billion just since 2025. It's fucking crazy. That's why everybody has to have their antennas up. Everyone's got to have their antennas up. Right, there's no limit to the money. $1 billion for them is like... That's why I'm excited about reading this book, you guys, because this is like a more updated version of the Israeli lobby. It's not like it's not like a sequel or whatever. It's not. It's its own book. But obviously when the Israeli lobby or the Israel lobby was first written back, I think in like 2007, we did not have internet as we have it today. We don't have social media as we have it today. So I'm excited. And also this is written past, post October 7th. So I'm excited to read it because I'm excited to read what they have to say about the evolution of the Israeli lobby post October 7th. I'm excited to read what they have to say about the Israeli lobby post October 7th and in light of post October 7th and in light of and in the age of social media. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for. Post October 7th and in the age of social media, how they write about the Israeli lobby, because the original Israeli lobby book is so good. But again, it came out in 2007. So I'll be very interested to see what they have to say about this evolution of the Israeli lobby to include the $1 billion Hasbro budget, post October 7th attitudes, and social media. And like, think about it. There's that video that's circulating online again of the woman who is like the CEO of Oracle or something. One of the heads of Oracle talking about how they have really scary technology that they're using in Gaza. That's horrifying. That's horrifying. Yes. Like, when the original Israeli lobby book was written, we didn't have drone technology the way we do now. We didn't have drone technology the way we do now. We don't have AI the way that we do now. We didn't have social media the way we do now. So they're evolving. Yeah, listen to this insanity.
Entire screen filled with an Israeli flag, which said, you hit our website.
This is the head, the executive chair of Oracle, which is the company that is owned by Larry Ellison that was a part of the consortium that bought TikTok. So just keep that in mind as you watch this.
In an Arab country, and you saw your entire screen filled with an Israeli flag, which said, not only we stand with Israel, we stand with our employees in Israel, we stand with the people of Israel, we stand with the military establishment of Israel. There's a few things that we did that I really can't talk about, to be honest, because to advance the agenda for the Israeli military. But our teams did a lot. We have some really profoundly scary technology at Oracle, and we wanted to make sure that it was available for the effort. Let's just say that. Okay. I was in the Kiryat, and I go in and I meet with everyone you'd imagine I meet with. And on my way out, I run into, 5 of my team who are all in uniform working. And To be honest with you, it's like my proudest moment.
That shit is so disturbing. It's not even funny, bro. That was so disturbing. That's really disturbing. It's my first, not the proudest moment. The fact that she's like, we have really scary technology over at Oracle. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Shit's scary enough, and that's what we know about. Everything is scary enough, and that's what we know. And then she's like, we have all this really scary shit at Oracle that I can't tell you about, but we want to make sure it's available to the IOF. Right. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. This is the person, again, that is the executive at, at Oracle. But nothing to see here, folks. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's had no effect on TikTok at all. How insane is that, bro? It's actually so scary. And she's saying it like it's all cute. One of the people that has been driving the narrative about the paid Democratic Party shills and hacks and apparatchiks that have been driving the narrative about Wisconsin has been led by the White Woman Brigade, led by Neera Tanden, spiritual white woman. It's been being led by her. Okay. So all the narratives about Wisconsin and about how the left can't win and Francesca Hungreich shouldn't have won and blah, 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 anti-left propaganda is being run by Neera Tanden, Smeera Tanden, who is anti-left, anti-progressive. Anybody who's been paying attention to politics since like the Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton days knows that she is a close ally of Hillary Clinton. She's a Hillary Clintonite, Awesome. Thanks for going on Twitch, Lesbian Hot Sauce. Huge Hillary Clintonite, huge hack. All she does is shit on the left. That's all she does. It's all she's done for years. Shit on, like, literally. She was one of the people that helped come up. She's not new to this. She's true to this. She's been a Hillary Clinton ally and like close confidant for a very long time. Okay? Very long time. She helped do the Obama smears, saying that Obama couldn't win. She was one of the people doing the smears, being like, I don't think Obama can win. And then now all she does all day is shit on the left. She's the head of the Center for American Progress, whose donors aren't disclosed. And she's like, all she does all day is shit on the left and promote corporate Democrats. That's all she does. Shit on the left and promote corporate Democrats and pearl clutch, as she retweeted Laura Loomer unironically. So she'll concern troll about sexism all the time. She loves to talk about sexism. The entire campaign with Abdul El-Sayed, she was concern trolling about sexism. She was tweeting at Walter Masterson, concern trolling about sexism, claiming that he was sexist because he used the word behaved, saying that he was sexist. So all day, every day, concern trolling about sexism. And then she retweets Laura Loomer. So you're an Islamophobe. So you're a racist. You're a racist Islamophobe. So you're a racist Islamophobe. Got it. Okay, well, here's her drunk ass. I'm pretty sure she's drunk. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued. But really, like, why is Neera Tanden always, like, drunk or on pills? Like, I don't understand. She never seems sober.
Do you think white non-college voters around this country who have
Do you think, doesn't she kind of remind you of Did You? She kind of reminds me of that Did You, because she kind of talks like that, and she kind of always seems drunk or on pills. Did you? Do you think that, what did you take it and do something crazy to it? Do you think that non-college white voters across the country took it and did something crazy to it? You know, they're happy to partner with Islamophobes. That's what's so great and funny about Blue MAGA. That's what's so funny about Blue MAGA and about neolibs like Neera Tanden is that they love identity politics. They love it. They can't get enough of using identity politics as a weapon, as a shield. They love it. But they're happy to partner with racists and Islamophobes the second it suits their purposes. They are happy to partner with racists and Islamophobes the second it helps their purposes. Because if you really cared about racism and sexism, why the fuck would you ever repost Laura Loomer? If you actually really cared about racism or sexism or any ism for that matter, why the fuck would you ever repost Laura Loomer? There isn't enough time in a 3-hour stream to go through how insane Laura Loomer is and all the insane racist shit she said. Laura Loomer is so racist and so bigoted, she literally got banned from Uber. There's not enough time in the day to go through how fucking racist and Islamophobic and bigoted Laura Loomer is. And then she's reposting her. Agreeing with her. Reposting her, agreeing with her. In the interest of smearing Hassan. The interest of smearing Hassan had her reposting her. But again, that just shows you how full of shit they are. They're so full of shit. This is the same clown that will cry constantly about sexism with no sense of shame. She will use identity politics shamelessly, calling everyone sexist, literally everyone and their mom and their daughter and their dog sexist, which she did. This isn't old. This isn't old like she only used to do it with Hillary Clinton. No, she's doing this recently, like last fucking week, bro. She's doing this shit recently. Last week, she was talking about how people on the left were sexist for trolling Haley Stevens, that people on the left were sexist for making fun of Haley Stevens' speaking voice. She was running all of these smears about how Abdul El-Sayed was sexist, running all these smears about Abdul El-Sayed being sexist. This woman loves identity politics, loves it, loves it, loves it, loves it, loves it. So the idea that somebody who loves weaponizing identity politics as much as Neera Tanden does would retweet Laura Loomer is actually fucking insane. It shows you the level of their impunity. Their how they feel culturally immune. Because what do you mean you're reposting somebody who literally regularly says that she doesn't care that children got killed in Gaza, that calls Black women ghetto, that got banned from Uber for being so fucking Islamophobic and bigoted against Muslims, that literally calls herself a proud Islamophobe, and you're unironically reposting her, defending her? It shows you the level of shamelessness they had. Girls should have invited me. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they will eventually. That would be fun. The girls and the they. Yeah. No, it's just, it really just shows you the level of immunity she feels she has, and impunity, that she could say that with no sense of, with shamelessness, with no sense of fear or backlash, that she feels so comfortable reposting somebody who is so violently racist and violently bigoted as Laura Loomer, who is so openly and proudly racist and bigoted. And she will repost her unironically and then turn around and think that she has credibility to call other people racist or sexist. And then turns around and thinks that she has the credibility to call anybody else racist or sexist, to think that she's got the fucking moral authority. To think that she's got the fucking moral authority to call anybody else racist and bigoted. To think that she's got the fucking moral authority to lecture anybody on racism or sexism. Like, it's unfucking believable, bro. The nerve.
Swung to
because she gets away
Donald
with
Trump
it
over the last 10 years, or as focused.
She gets away with it. Laura Loomer is a demon. Because she gets away with it. That's what's so disgusting. She gets away with it. Laura Loomer is a fucking demon. Imagine how unserious you have to be to side with Laura Loomer because she hates Hassan. They're not even comparable, Laura Loomer and Hassan. They're not even comparable. Laura Loomer is literally 1,000 times worse than Hassan, even if I didn't like Hassan, even if I would grant the criticisms of Hassan, she is 1,000 times worse than him. So the fact that she's making common cause with Laura Loomer over Hassan, she's making common cause with Laura Loomer over hating Hassan is fucking crazy, bro. And Fred Gutenberg, the gun safety activist, did the same thing. Pretends all the time to care about racism and sexism and anti-Semitism, then turned around and defended her reposting Laura Loomer. Then turned around and literally retweeted her posting Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer's a fucking demon. But that is the perfect example of what we mean when we say liberals always rather side with fascists than progressives. That is that in action. Liberals, like Smear Tandon, would always rather side with fascists like Laura Loomer than they would with a progressive lefty like Hassan Piker. Always. That is that in action. That, her reposting her and making common cause with Laura Loomer, that is that in action.
On Israel as the conversation in the Democratic Party?
I think that working class voters across groups do actually consider the litmus test of Israel to be important.
Yeah,
Increasingly.
interesting.
Increasingly.
I think this is like an interesting. I think this is
You don't?
interesting.
You don't?
I think.
You think that's an elite class issue? Like it's a DSA
No, I
voter
think
issue?
I think there's actual data on this, which the conversation of the Democratic Party is much more focused on Israel and Gaza, and the conversation in the country is much more focused on the Iran war.
Mhm.
There have been fewer protests of the Iran war. And, just to say, fewer protests of the Iran war against them. There have been fewer protests on the Iran war than Gaza over the last year, feels to me. And most importantly,
Can I offer a theory on why?
Is what unites. Can I just say, just finish? I'm just like, where's the anti-war left on the Iran war?
Listen, we were just
Why
at
do
a
we
gas
have to-
station in Allentown hearing about people's anger about the Iran war, specifically because of gas prices.
Yes,
so I
you did. It
totally
was
hear you
great.
on that front. But couldn't the lesson, and this is to link it back to our conversation about Democrats' own credibility, and I think people's lessons from Biden administration, couldn't the lesson be of anti-war protests that were not heard during the Biden administration? Can a ripple effect be kind of people's own sense of powerlessness about?
Not only is it a ripple effect, but the reason why the left had so many protests against the genocide in Gaza under Biden is because of the fact that it was a Democrat in power and there was an election where there might be another Democrat in power. And also, yes, they have very much disempowered the anti-war movement, especially by criminalizing them. They're criminalizing them. They've been criminalizing them. Melvin looks so cute. He looks so pathetic. I like when the boys will sleep against the couch, like Gormo, mug you. He's so pathetic. Oh my gosh, they're both so pathetic. Exactly, Dawn. Correct. It's just amazing. It really is just amazing. If I spent time trying to compile all the insane racist tweets that Laura Loomer has put out in just the last 2 years, let's just say just since Trump got reelected, it would feel like it would take weeks. It would take weeks. Maybe they feel comfortable there. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's because they feel comfortable saying insanely embarrassing shit because they think like it's a safe space, you know? But they don't realize how embarrassing it sounds, you know? Garbo! You know what I mean? That might be why. Why does he always sleep with his nuts hanging out? Because he's not neutered. He can't help it. We're talking about my dog, sorry. Talking about Melvin, Yarman. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That she called that Candace Owens that. That's who Near Tendon is retweeting. That's who they're siding with. Somebody who calls Black women that. It's unfucking believable, bro. But again, no backlash. No backlash. They always rather side with fascists than with the left. Like, honestly, it would take weeks to try to compile all the insane, bigoted, and racist shit that Laura Loomer has put on her Twitter just in the last 2 years. Because it's most of it. It's most of it. And they don't care. They're fine with it. They're fine with it. Because they don't actually care. It is just a weapon for them. It is just a means to an end. It's a weapon. They use it as a weapon and they use it as a shield. Which is why you should never, never let them use it to silence you when you criticize them. Don't ever let them get away with it. Don't let them get away with it. Anyway, that's going to conclude the stream, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Let me give a shout out to all my members, my YouTube members, my Ko-Fi members, my patrons, my Twitch subscribers. Thank you guys for joining the stream. I will probably not be live on Sunday because I might be. I'm not actually sure what day we're coming home yet. So that's why I don't know. But it's possible that I won't be live Sunday because I might still be in Philly. But I might be. I'll keep you guys posted in Discord. So if you want updates on the show, make sure that you're in the Discord Because that's where I'll do show updates or live updates. So yes, shout out to all my members. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for your support. Shout out to my amazing mod, Boney. Thank you, Boney, for throwing that up. You can find all of my social media in my link tree. All of it's there except for Upscrolled, which should be added there soon. And if you want to support my work, they're all in there too. These are all the links, but they're also all in my link tree. And Ko-Fi and Patreon, or becoming a member, all ways that you can just, on Twitch or YouTube, are all ways that you can just support my work, support my content, or tipping me on Cash App or Venmo. I think that's it. I might be live Sunday. If not, then I'll go live Monday. If I'm unable to go live on Sunday, I will go live on Monday. In the meantime, I make short form content, and a great way that you can help me out, if you want to help me out, that's not financial, is just by liking and sharing my content. And when I post on YouTube, watching the video and watching it all the way through. Watching the video and watching it all the way through, because they count watch time. Shout out to Boney. All right, everybody. I love you. Free Palestine, abolish ICE. And I will see you guys on either Sunday or Monday. I'll keep you posted. Bye, everybody.